Good morning. I'm meteorologist Tim Axford, and I'm going to lead you through the weather hazard briefing for today, Monday, June 7th. We're looking at warmer temperatures than we saw yesterday. Maybe perhaps an isolated shower late tonight, but pretty much the whole area will remain dry for the next couple of days. A couple of isolated showers potentially tomorrow and maybe on Wednesday. We'll get into that here in a couple of seconds. But then the bigger impactful system will come in Thursday. We're talking about showers, thunderstorms, maybe some high elevation snow even, and certainly some wind across the Snake Plain. Taking a look at the current satellite loop, we've got a battle going on between low pressure, this kind of amorphous low pressure that's kind of hanging out over the Pacific Northwest, and high pressure over the Great Basin and Four Corners area. And that's just streaming clouds and a little bit of moisture, not much moisture, but you can see it kind of in satellite here. A couple of clouds coming through, and that's what's keeping our wind up overnight too, is the pressure gradient between these two systems. Now, as we go through the week, this low pressure is going to try and move in further into the coast and produce that weather that we're going to talk about for Thursday. But high pressure is going to then wind back out as well. So we'll get into that in a second. Looking at the weather and impacts outlook, today, pretty much no impacts expected. And even tomorrow, really no impacts expected either. Again, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two across the eastern highlands, Lost River area, and maybe Lemhi area as well for Tuesday. Wednesday, we start to see the influence of that system, that Thursday system, start to be felt. We see increasing winds across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley. And then on Thursday is when that system moves through, and not much of an impact here, but temperatures will be much lower that day on Thursday. But certainly we'll have wind, we'll have breezy conditions across many of the areas. We'll have rain, some high mountain snow possible as well. So we'll have kind of a grab bag on Thursday, and then that system gets out of here pretty quick. So Friday, again, no impacts felt in the wake of that system. So looking at conditions today, like I said, we've got temperatures a little bit higher than what we saw yesterday. Generally on Sunday, we were seeing highs in the upper 70s and maybe touching low 80. Today, we're expecting temperatures to be in the 80s for many of the folks in the Magic Valley and Snake Plain. A little bit cooler as you go up towards Island Park and up to the upper Snake Plain and, of course, into the Central Mountains. Cooler there as well. Winds, we're not expecting anything in terms of really strong winds. We could see gusts up to 20 miles per hour. We could see actually winds start to decrease throughout the day across the Snake Plain. So that's kind of a change because we're kind of currently gusting pretty good right now, but then those will decrease as we go through the day. Here's a simulated radar from one of the models here, and I must caution you that this is just one of our models that can, the details get to be a little bit fuzzy, but just kind of showing what could happen later on tonight. Like I said, it's a non-zero chance of a shower, but some of our forecast models are trying to put in a couple of showers across kind of the Central Mountains area. Again, it's a non-zero possibility, but for the most part, everybody's going to stay dry tonight. Now, as we look at Tuesday, temperatures look roughly about the same as what we see today. Highs in the low, maybe mid-80s. Winds are starting to pick up just a little bit more as that system starts to approach for midweek. But again, we're not looking at anything too impactful with Tuesday. Now, again, looking at a simulated precipitation forecast here. We'll start out at noon Tuesday, stepping through the early afternoon. We see a couple of stronger cells that might develop across the Central Mountains, and then it's trying to develop some over the Eastern Highlands as well. These, if they do exist, if they do come to fruition, they could be gustier and pack some gusty winds, but for the most part, they should be pretty minor in impacts. Now, jumping ahead to that Thursday system, like I mentioned on the outlook, Wednesday is going to start to increase in the winds. I didn't include that graphic here, but just wanted to jump onto the Thursday system. This here's a table of high temperatures for the next week. As you can see, for most of our locations, they're orange. We're expecting temperatures in the 70s, 80s. And then we see Thursday come along, and we're knocking down temperatures to below average. We see, if we pick out a couple of cities here, Pocatello 64, Idaho Falls 64, Stanley 53. So temperatures much more reminiscent of early spring as opposed to where we are currently in spring. And then after that system comes by, like I said, we rebound pretty quickly. We're looking back at 80s and even perhaps 90s by the weekend. Now the winds on the right side of the screen here, these are the wind gusts expected for Thursday. Like I said, it's going to be pretty windy across the Snake Plain and the eastern Magic Valley. We're expecting winds in excess of 35, 40 miles per hour for gusts from the southwest. Of course, it's going to be breezy elsewhere as well, but the Snake Plain is going to be where that wind is generally funneled through. Now, one of the good news items that we have here is that we are expecting some rain, especially for the central mountains with this system. It says rainfall amounts Tuesday through Friday, but most of this rain is going to occur with that system on Thursday. We're looking at amounts that are subject to change of quarter inch to maybe even half an inch in some locations through Custer County, Lemhi County. As the system approaches, though, the precipitation gets a little more scattered and maybe even isolated. We might have some isolated scattered thunderstorms across the Snake Plain and South Hills, Eastern Highlands, and that's why the amounts are much lower in these locations. So we'll try and update this graphic as in the coming days to kind of show what we're expecting for precipitation for that Thursday system. But right now, again, the bullseye of heavier precipitation, at least for eastern and central Idaho, is through Custer County and Lemhi County. And then looking beyond that, kind of the mid-June outlook, again, once we get past this system, we rebound and have high pressure build back in. So the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook is favoring drier conditions and slightly warmer than average conditions building back in. So once we get that midweek system, we rebound and back to the heat and dry. So in summary, we're just a couple of degrees warmer today, maybe a chance of an isolated shower tonight. Those isolated shower chances continue and build a little bit for Tuesday. And then we're building up until that Thursday system where it's a little more impactful. We're going to see some windy conditions across the Snake Plain, showers, thunderstorms, and some high elevation snow is possible with that system as well. And with that, cooler temperatures. So that ends today's briefing. If you have any questions, please give us a call at the number here. Certainly follow us on social media. And if you need a more detailed forecast, go to our website right here. Thanks for watching.